Greece is an uber inspiring time for us. If you look at the time, and our game is set 431 BC in the time of the Peloponnesian War. It's a time of war and peace. There's the contrast between the land and the sea. There's this underlying contrast of like order and free will. And all of this really inspired us to take a bite into the ancient Greek culture and explore it that way. There's two characters, Cassandra and Alexios. They have the same story depending on who you choose. What we really wanted to do was to make sure that players had the choice of who they wanted to play that most embodied like them or whatever they wanted to choose, because this is ultimately the player's Odyssey. This is your Odyssey.
I would ask for Kira.
Kira?
And you.
Alexios and Cassandra both come from a Spartan background. They have the same story, as I said. They were raised as a Spartan warrior as a young child. And there's this tragedy that rips the whole family apart. And we resume with the character 17 years later on the island of Kefalonia, where they've trained themselves to be a mercenary. And there's a contract that comes in their way that ends up opening up this whole world before them and sends them on their Odyssey and sends you as a player on your Odyssey, and that's really where we pick it up. You as Alexios or Cassandra are a descendant of the first Civ bloodline. I don't want to go into how that all works out, but we got to very much explore the connection with the first Civ and how it's intertwined with mythology. This is a really perfect setting for us to do that, and it is really exciting. The present day is a foundational part of the Assassin's Creed lore, and so obviously we wanted to very much continue to explore that. And we wanted to continue the story of Layla, so she will be here with us. And she's on the search for First Civilization knowledge and First Civilization artifacts. The foundations of the Assassins and the Templars comes from this ideology of free will versus order. And this was something that really spoke to this time period. And to me, just like the choices you're going to be making in the game, the ideologies themselves are very gray in how they are represented, and I wanted to push forward in that, and we totally took off on that front.
And their suffering is worth his life?
Podarkis is one of the people hunting my family, Socrates. His death is unavoidable.
Now, I do understand that there is that fine line between what is myth and what is history, but we worked with some incredible historians. We went to Greece too in order to do research for ourselves, but it was very important for us to make sure that we were getting as much historical accuracy as we could, and then have that link to the legends, because the legends are very relevant to the way the Greek culture was shaped. The naval system and how it interacts with our game is very different than how the naval system interacts with Black Flag, in that it's a seamless experience. You are able to upgrade your boat, recruit new people, you can ram your ship into other ships, you can cleave ships in two, like it's insane, and it's really fun. There are abilities that come with your ship. It was a very important aspect to our game because you couldn't have a map that like with the Aegean Sea on it without being able to go on this Odyssey on the water yourself and be able to interact with the Spartans on the sea, the Athenians on the sea, the pirates, the mercenaries, you name it. And the fact that you can recruit just about anybody in the world. Some of the people you recruit will provide buffs to your ship, whether it be like increased health or better damage or what have you. Our combat system on Assassin's Creed Odyssey is taken the foundations that Origins has built on, and we're pushing it a step further. You now have gear that is customizable and upgradable with you. And also we have the ability system that is connected to the spear and how the spear is connected to you. So through the spear, we are able to engage in a variety of abilities, whether they be stealth, ranged, or ones relating to being a warrior. And these will greatly differ the way you're going to approach combat, stealth and ranged stuff. And so we're really building on what was provided for us and what was built for the core experience of Assassin's Creed Origins, and really just pushing that as far as we can. Choice is obviously very fundamental to us, and this is why we created something like the interactive dialogue system.
The Adresti and I have faced greater challenges than a few Athenian ships.
Now, historical events will pan out the way they're recorded in history. From a personal standpoint and a personal story standpoint, the choices you make along the way will dictate the outcome of what's happening. And this is not just restrained to the hero's journey. It also impacts the self-contained stories, and it really is dependent on how you want to play as a character and how you interact with people.
I couldn't let you have all the fun.
Our map is the biggest map that we have introduced to our franchise, and there are various monuments around the world. Assassin's Creed Odyssey comes out on October 5th, and it comes out for PC, PS4, PS4 Pro, Xbox One, Xbox One S, and Xbox One X.